Thank you, Mr. Chandra, for staying with us on News 9. Now, I want to ask you, you just heard the Vice President talk about the soul of the Indian Constitution. And he mentioned that Bharat is one and it will forever be one. So I want to understand from you how this Constitution, how this living document has acted as a unifying force for the country for so many years now.
In fact, our Constitution is not the outcome of agreement between the states. It is not in fact, that federation of states on the basis of the agreement. It is the Union of India. It is Union of States. And the important thing here is, though there is leverage to the states, depending upon their language, their diversity, their different aspects, including language and all. But at the same time, they are very much part of the one India that is called Bharat. So, so that is one of the reasons people say it is a quasi-judicial. Some of the persons say that it is a unitary kind of constitution. As our framers of the Constitution, they knew about the diversity, they knew about the future threats. That's why they had made it as a union and not as a federation based on the agreements. So that is one of the reasons that India is one and it will always remain one.
Right, in fact, Bharat is a union of states. Now, Mr. Chandra, we're talking about the Constitution Day. It is a very recent creation. We only started celebrating and started honoring this vibrant document since 2015. So I want to go back a little and try and understand for our viewers, why was this day necessary to mark this Constitution and the legacy of this document?
Madam, it was always there. We used to make it as a law day, always, but it was not drawing that kind of attention, maybe, perhaps as it is now drawing. And most importantly, some of the features were not even very much conspicuous. If you have heard the Honorable President and also the Vice President, that the Nandlal Bose, who made the pictures in the Constitution, and if you look at those pictures, these also include some of the manifestations, some of the pictures taken from Ramayana, some of the pictures from even from Mahabharata, some of the pictures from earlier rulers like Akbar, and these are some of the features. Predominantly, if you see how we have taken this journey, it is reflected in those pictures. So that is something, the conscience of the Constitution, which is not only the written text. Some of the pictures, if you see the original Constitution on which these pictures have been inscribed, these are the real conscience, which reminds you about our what do you call, the values and virtues in the Ramayana or the Rama Yuga and other phases of the development we have reached up to that stage. So from all those ups and downs, all these have been reflected. So that is one aspect which Honorable President and Vice President has also highlighted.
Right, of course, we are not just celebrating the letter of the Indian Constitution, we are also celebrating the spirit of it. And as you mentioned, the celebrations have gained a momentum ever since 2015. But sir, when you're talking about the Indian Constitution, we cannot not mention the members of the Constituent Assembly, you know, who are so far-sighted in their vision that the Constitution continues to guide us today and will, of course, do so in the future as well. So if you could, you know, reflect on their legacy and their contribution to the Indian Constitution.
Yes, definitely. Whenever there is any issue relating to interpretation of any provision of the Constitution, at that time, the constitutional debates, various concepts, various viewpoints which were reflected at the time of discussion and finally accepting the text, which is as on today. So just to understand the intentions of the constitution makers, our constitutional constituent assembly members, we always go back to their debates, and that is also what was the aspirations in their mind, that is reflected while we read the constituent assembly debates.